So I ran a poll this week with the question, do you consider yourself a silver stacker, investor, or both? Well, we're going to look at each response, but first I'll go over my reasons why I don't consider silver an investment. So stay tuned. Hey YouTube, how you doing? Welcome to another episode of the Silver and Gold Stack Attack. Hope everyone's doing well, and I'd like to thank you for checking out the latest video here at the channel. And as always, if you like what you see here, then feel free to take a jab at that thumbs up button, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already done so. You guys know I appreciate all the support. So we're going to review everyone's answers to the poll question in just a minute, but I want to touch on the subject of this video, which is going to be my personal view on investing in silver. Everybody's different. This is just mine. Now, if you've gotten to know me a little bit since I've been on YouTube, you know that I treat my gold and silver stack as more of a physical savings account. Now, of course, I have my bank savings and checking account that I live from day to day, but you know what? That money is just numbers sitting in an account. I can't really touch it. I can't hold it. All I do is reallocate it where I need it to go without ever seeing it. And those same numbers are losing value every day as our purchasing power goes down. So, yeah, my stack is a savings account with intrinsic value, unlike the dollar. Which seems to be barely worth the paper it's printed on these days. And if we don't believe in fiat currency failing, I give you Exhibit A. But look, every time I add ounces to my gold and silver savings account, it's for the future and not really for the present. And hey, even silver can show a profit over time. If you bought a 10-ounce bar, for example, back in December of 1998, when silver averaged about $5 an ounce, you paid roughly $70 to $75 for that bar after the premium. Now, today, that same bar is worth a lot more, even if you just go by spot price. So we figure at today's spot at $22.50, whatever it is, you'd get around $225 for that same silver bar. A lot more if it's collectible, like an Engelhard. So your investment back in the 90s turned you about a 33% profit, and that's at an absolute minimum, right? Now, how much would that $75 have made sitting in the bank from then to now? A couple of bucks? Maybe. Look, silver may be a slow burn, but it's at least consistent with a few peaks sprinkled in here and there. Now, we've all heard that stacking silver is a good hedge against inflation, and that can be true. But we also know that silver pretty much runs off the strength of the dollar. And, for example, when the dollar is weak, silver tends to go up. When the dollar's strong, well, silver tends to drop back down. And we can back that up by making note of the fact that the dollar just closed out its weakest month since going all the way back to 2010. And what happened to spot price as a result? Well, today we're seeing a steady uptick to the mid $22 range. The dollar eased off in October and sold off big in November, which led to the increase. Now, whether or not this stays the course, we'll see. Now, ironically enough, the dollar was strong on paper. Let me reiterate, on paper in most of 2022. So we saw silver spot price plummet for the most part after that nice little $26 peak in March earlier this year. And if anybody FOMO'd and bought silver during that brief stretch run, well, they're probably not too happy with silver right now, especially after it went below $18 not long after. That's the volatility. And that's why I don't consider my silver stacking investing. I'm not buying in the hopes of solely turning a profit, even though I definitely wouldn't mind an increase in the future. But I'm buying it more to preserve a store of value, since basically silver has proven century after century to be a viable form of money when fiat currency is bombed, right? Now, if you want to go with paper gold and silver like ETFs, then hey, you're officially investing in gold and silver since you can actually grow your wealth from it by flipping it quickly and without having to physically hold it. In a nutshell, paper, silver, and gold is an investment. Physical gold and silver is insurance against a weak economy and inflation. Just remember now, paper metals are far more risky in turbulent times than holding physical metal. And to be honest, and this is truth, if everyone holding silver certificates tried to cash in with their custodial vault, they'd probably get rewarded with, you guessed it, more fiat cash. Why is that? Because there isn't nearly enough physical silver to back up all the paper silver that's been sold. Not even close. So for me personally, and in my own situation, for me, silver is a hedge or insurance and not an investment. we expect our investments to increase in value with adjustments for inflation. We also expect precious metals to keep their value adjusted for inflation. And that's why I stack and why I don't consider my gold and silver an investment in the broadest sense of the word. I mean, yeah, I'm quote-unquote investing my fiat cash into precious metals, and well, I'd hope someday they'd go up without the economy being thrown in the dumpster. Now, let's face it, if silver hits 500 an ounce, it's probably not for good reasons, right? How much will it help us if everything else is also priced astronomically high? And another thing, ask yourself what kind of investments you'd rely on if the dollar and the economy crashes. All things to think about. Now, I'm not anti-investment at all. I like to buy some of the premium stuff like the Queen's Beast here. I'll buy premium stuff if I like it, something that appeals to me. And those do tend to go up in value, so you could consider the premium stuff an investment, absolutely. But it's just not my main gig. So I'm not anti-investment at all. Trust me on that. I have plenty of other coals in the fire to supplement my stacking. Let's face reality. Just saving money is the only choice you can make that'll guarantee a loss. You gotta diversify if you're gonna survive whatever crap is coming our way. All right, moving on. So let's get back to that poll question about whether you guys felt you were stackers, investors, or both. This is where you take over the channel and have your voices heard. And I'd like to thank each of you who took the time to comment. You folks are the absolute best. So let's see what we got here. All right, we'll start off with Spokane Silver Stacker, who says he's definitely transitioned more to collecting, but he has a base stack. I think that's true for a lot of people. Toxic Grief says he's been stacking for about a month now, and he's already looking at trying out ways to sell some of his silver to buy more. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with flipping silver and looking to buy more of it. There's nothing wrong with that at all. SGT Stacking checks in. It says he'd rather consider himself a stacker for the most part, although I have purchased silver pieces to flip in the years to come. There you go. I think a lot of us have picked up some of the premium stuff with the hopes that it picks up steam in the future. Old Man Jenkins considers himself a silver collector and a gold stacker, and he gives his reasons why. Yeah, I can see where that would come in. I can definitely see where that would come in. Debonair Dylan says, I came into stacking from coin collecting. I have my bars and generics for weight, but I also flip numismatics and semi-numismatics. Good strategy. Daisy, I like the concept of being a stacker, but I also love the art designs, so I'm sometimes willing to pay more for better quality. Yep, I think we all dabble in premium, so we can relate. Tom Moore, I would be a stacker, but I had to go with both because my wife is a collector. Yeah, there's a few of us out here, bud. Our wives, mine has actually picked out a few pieces that I didn't want, but, you know, she wanted them, I bought them, and she probably never will look at them again. Anyway, NC Stacker says, a stacker first, but also a bit of a collector. Rob, I stack as mainly a savings account. I hear you. But I wouldn't a heartbeat sell some if I could make enough off of it. I do have some I won't sell unless the spot price at least doubles. Well, let's hope. Let's hope, Rob. R for Raven says, I stack for my little girl and her future. That's awesome. Many of us can relate to that. I think most of us are saying, hey, if it doesn't make its fortune in our lifetime, well, it gets passed on to the kids. So absolutely. If when my time comes and silver's not doing anything, well, my kids will get to deal with it. So that's part of their inheritance. The Minuteman says, I also collect numismatics. There you go. Devin, silver and gold were used as money in the past and will be used again in the future. Amen, Devin. Probably very, very likely going to happen. RJ Reagan has gone from a coin collector to vest pocket dealer to a brick and mortar store, back to a vest pocket dealer, and now just a stacker. It's a heck of a journey, my friend. Heck of a journey. M2, overall both. Stacker, I buy cheap bullion. Investor, I buy numismatics. Now get off my lawn. Old M2, gotta love it. Fish says kilos and keys. There you go. Strange As is a stack collector, so that puts him in both. And Don't Ask also says both. So there you have it, folks. You have spoken. Pretty good mix of people who stack, collect, and otherwise. Thanks again for your input. All right, there you have it. That's how I personally view stacking versus investing in precious metals. And of course, that's as it pertains to my own personal situation. Everyone else is going to be different, and you have to invest or stack for your own reasons. Bottom line, as long as you're stacking, right? However you do it is your own prerogative. Just keep stacking. All right, that's going to wrap it up for this episode of the Silver and Gold Stack Attack. And if you made it this far, well, kudos to you. I will definitely catch up with you in the next episode. But in the meantime,
what do you want to do with your life?
damn right, I want to stack. Get stacked. Stay safe and be well, everyone. I am out of here. Peace, folks.